Hello, Puma graduating class. It's an honor to be here celebrating your UPrep journey. I can't see you, of course, locked in this recording as I am, but I'm sure you're quite stunning. Let's cut to the chase. You're wondering, who is this smooth, honey-like voice, so deep, so commanding? But he's got something really profound to say. If we haven't had the pleasure of meeting corporeally, I'm Joel. If you're enjoying my disembodied presence right now, it's probably because I am, like you are about to become, a UPrep alum. I graduated back in 2017, or way back if longevity has been my friend, when the U-Lab was nothing more than a bright idea. I was very fortunate to then move to a quaint little town called New York City, where I attended Columbia University and studied the traditional, sensible combination of theater and astrophysics. If I just gave you any ideas, please give me a call before I hear some choice words from the tuition-paying forces in your life. After graduating mid-pandemic in 2021, I decided I'd spare my parents any more anxiety, so I chose to pursue a career in acting. And sure, even stable professions like that have their ups and downs, but that choice did pay off with a degree in magical studies from the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry after 2 years spent playing one of the lead roles in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway. We didn't have any moving newsprint on hand while recording this, so I'm afraid we'll have to skip the magic today. Instead, I thought we'd talk about college, because as I speak, chances are you're standing on your very own platform 9 3/4, waiting to board the Hogwarts Express bound for your university adventure. I hope you're incredibly excited to be on this train because you've earned it. And I know from experience that you may be feeling a few other things too. Maybe not right this second, maybe not even when you first step onto campus, but at some point, one way or another, you might feel a little unsure, or a little scared, maybe even a little terrified. After all, you're boarding a big, fancy train going to a brand new, fancy place full of brilliant, fancy people. UPrep is a small place. In one way or another, you're stepping out of your familiar, tight-knit UPrep community into a much wider, unfamiliar community of an undergrad campus. That's a daunting step to take. I wish I had some profound, lavishly verbose words to speed you confidently on your way, but I'm not Dumbledore. I played the other Albus. Fiery, brash, also teeming with excitement, also uncertain about starting life at a new school. So, what I can offer you is a glimpse of my first night at Columbia, not because yours will be the same, but to assure you that even if your nerves get the better of you, the time you've spent here at UPrep will never fail to lift you back up. My first day on campus, I moved in quite smoothly, which is no small feat in Manhattan. I attended my orientation activities, met some nice folks, and listened to long, inspiring speeches just like this one. And I had a totally great first day. But then, the activities came to a close, the speeches mercifully ended, my family left, and I was alone. I knew I would be. It wasn't a surprise. That's sort of the whole college gig. And I knew, too, that my family, my friends, they were just a phone call away, but I was used to having them at an arm's length. All the people who knew my strengths and my weaknesses, my quirks and my passions. Like you, I was used to life at UPrep. But in the blink of an eye, that changed. And as I looked around my oh-so-spacious New York dorm room, as I stood on the precipice of my college experience, I was hit, kind of for the first time in my life, with a profound feeling of loneliness. And in that loneliness, I began to doubt. To doubt that I was anywhere near as qualified as the thousands of other students who had applied for my spot in that freshman class, let alone that for the next 4 years I could measure up to all of the incredibly talented and smart and confident people I had met that day. So I started my first night of college lying on my twin XL mattress asking, "Joel, what in the world have you gotten yourself into?" Word to the wise, even with a mattress topper, which I highly recommend, a twin XL is not the most comfortable surface on which to have an existential crisis. So I got up and started wandering my new dorm building. And like you, I'd done enough time in Socratic seminars in high school to know that when you're stuck, it's best to start by reframing the question. So I asked myself, how in the world did I get here, all the way across the country to this unfamiliar sense of doom? High school had been stressful, I don't need to tell you that, but As I thought back, I couldn't recall a moment when I truly felt the enormity of my time at UPrep looming over my head the way my impending Columbia experience seemed to be doing now. Why was that? What was I missing? It took me more than a few laps through identical beige dorm room floors to figure it out, but I'll spare you the flights of stairs. In the stress of this transition, I was trying to leap the mountain in a single bound. I had completely forgotten what I'd spent 7 years learning how to do at UPrep. I'd forgotten that learning is taking it one step at a time. Now, you're thinking, Joel, they brought you all the way from Broadway to tell me one step at a time? Go back to wizard school. And you're right, it feels obvious now, and that is the gift UPrep has given you. The gift your faculty in particular have given you. Whether you've realized it in the moment or not, your faculty have structured your high school experience in a way that has forced you to approach learning day by day, step by step. That's why you've been able to excel across such a wide swath of the academic landscape, from calculus to Shakespeare to chemistry to you name it. The reason you have succeeded thus far and will continue to succeed going forward is because your faculty have taught you how to learn. But when you step out of this wonderful, familiar community, some of that scaffolding starts to fall away, and life comes at you fast. It's easy to get lost in details and deadlines and the noise of everything around you. Most of the facts and figures you've crammed into your head these last 4 years will start to fade away. No, you won't actually have to take a derivative or analyze a rhyme scheme in the real world if you don't want to. But what will remain is the ability your teachers have given you to approach any subject you do want to learn and master it one step at a time. I can't say I remember every last equation Dr. Narasimhan taught us in quant physics, even now that I have a degree in it, but I remember how she taught me to lay out the pieces of a problem, to work from known to unknown in a clear, repeatable fashion. I couldn't name a single text Catherine Sivian assigned in critical reading and writing, but I always go back to how she taught me how to analyze a reading quickly and express an opinion confidently. I struggle to list most dates from U.S. history, but I remember how Karen Sherwood challenged me to interrogate present issues by putting them in conversation with informed historical context. And of course, I can't recall any of the lines I memorized for play production, but I cling to the way Paul Fleming dared me to live each moment on the stage as a discovery, and that became the North Star that got me through 760 performances on a Broadway stage. On that first night at Columbia, I lost sight of that foundation my teachers at UPrep had built beneath my feet. Sure, other students still knew more than I did on day one. They still projected a confidence that I didn't feel, but when I took a breath and focused not on the next 4 years, not on the whole semester, but just the next day, I found that foundation again. I started to trust it, and it gave me both the skills to catch up where needed and the versatility to pursue any subject I wanted. I didn't have to rely on existing strengths or knowledge when I already knew how to learn my way up from the bottom, one step at a time. I promise I'm not trying to manifest an existential crisis on your first night at college. If anything, I dare you to waltz in like you own the place, but if at any point in the next 4 years you find yourself overwhelmed or unsure or doubting that you'll make it to the end, slow down. You find your foundation and trust it. I promise it's there. You can't see it if, like me, you try to rush to the end, but if you take a deep breath and commit your attention to one thing at a time, just as your UPrep faculty have taught you to do, your foundation will never fail you. So, before you leave campus, before you graduate and fly away with your diploma, find a moment to thank your teachers for this gift they've given you. They are your foundation. For me, that's Tim Block, Jess Klein, Melissa Wyatt, Karen Sloan, Sarah Peterson. It's Nate Whitney, Alec Duxbury, Jeff Gans, Abigail Hunley, Pat Grant, Kira McGraw, Matt Palubinskas, Ty Talbot, Tammy Howe, Gus Fellew, Karen Natorp Anderson, Dana Bettinger, Judy Gavamian, Carl Fauché, Kayla Robertson. It's Moses Rifkin, Jerry Gallagher, Laura Zogg, David Crabb, Ann Bingham, Kelly Harrington, Britton Nelson, Elena Teo, Dan Chestnut, Michaela Batella Buckley, Liz Sadler, Lisa Sidor, Patty Blagan, Nell Brewer, Leah Griffin, Alan Hargis, Alma Andrade, Ken Jaffe, Marianne Pica, Rebecca Moe, John Jewett, Thane Lewis, Mario Juves, Ian McInerney, Jeff Tillinghast, Amato Toribio, Thomas Artis, Sue Patella, Mark Cullen, and Brent Slatz, who, to this day, had the warmest smile I ever saw. And that's only to name a fraction of the many people at UPrep who gave me the foundation that carried me through college and beyond. And thank your parents, too, for laying the soil on which your foundation is built. And hey, maybe even your super cool older siblings who patted that soil down. Just a thought. And don't forget to thank yourself either. UPrep may have laid your foundation, but you're the one still standing on it. And you're going to keep standing on it. You're going to keep building it up every step of the way through college as you explore the many doors your time as a Puma has opened for you. So, my challenge to you is this. When you graduate, and your name is called, and you stroll across platform 9 3/4 towards your very own gleaming Hogwarts Express, take that walk one step at a time. All the better to admire the bricks beneath your feet. Thank you for having me, and on behalf of the UPrep alumni community, congratulations to you and the entire UPrep graduating class.